All right, Shalom. First and foremost, let me give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. The honor says, Apostle Great Mills, so time the truth and rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to Akim out there. Scatter ball to the forefront of the earth. That's serving the truth and the truth and sincerity. To I say Shalom. This has been the Balik into another video in the spirit. And at the top of this video is going to be about the Lord is going to have to change our spirit. And I said that because, again, I watched the movie Sinners this past weekend, and seeing how I was just meditating about how E's going to be moving, in these times, and what E's going to try to do, to try to come up against us, and we're going to need the Lord to change our spirits. One thing that happened in the movie is you can see how E was basically trying to use your loved ones, their loved ones in the movie, to basically get them to conform. That's the same thing E is going to try to do, as we continue to go through these times. As things continue to get, serious out here and continue to turn up, for a lot of our, who people, some brothers got, some friends that's in the world, deal with some people in the world, and then in family as well. A lot of our friends and family, are not going to be able to endure the things that we're going to have to endure. That's just how it is. Because if they're not in this truth, they're not under the full hedge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Now, mind you, we do this to Lord willing that our family do be covered and that the works that we do are pleasable to Yahweh Shem Yahushua to cover our family, but that's all up to the Lord, And if the Lord has it where our family and the people that surround us, don't endure and they end up conforming to E, it is what it is, But that's why we gonna need the Lord to put that that austere spirit on us, man, and to change our spirits, because that's something that brothers been doing, as brothers go through this journey, is kind of separating yourself, from the people in this world, so when that time do come, it's not as a much difficult decision to make if you have to walk away, but I'm not saying it's an easy thing, but we understand that doing that we're going to be rewarded for that, but still we're going to need the Lord to change our spirits, because we in the flesh, and in the flesh, is weak, it might be tough for some brothers, to see, they family, conform or whatever. But we have to ask the Lord to just be with us, and to give us the spirit of endurance, man, and keep the right spirit in us, to not fall for it. So this is Job 40:7. It says, gird up thy loins now like a man, and I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. Yeah, so we're going to have to be men, true men, in these times that we're coming to. We can't be soft. It's not gonna be time for that. We're gonna have to truly be men, and gird up our loins. Because that's what the Lord commanded of us. So like, yeah. Let me grab this. This is Revelations 21:3. It says, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yahweh himself shall be with them and be their power. Yeah. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua is dealing with men. Okay, so we already preached that, we got to be a man in this truth. Okay, but how much more even in the days that we're coming into? We're gonna have to really be, true men, really standing 10 toes down for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and understanding that us losing everything and everyone who we have known in this world that's outside of the brothers, willing to lose, then that we're gonna have a reward for that, and he's gonna do that because it's your family, and he gonna do that to people in the world too, you know, you know. Some people in the world may not want to conform right away to E, but when they family do it, and they people around them do it, he gonna try to use them to bring them in, you know. Be like it's better over here, it's good over here, look at this, look at that, Even if say we get thrown in a concentration camp, he might try to have your wife, your kids, your mother, whoever it is come and try to convince you to give in. That's why when you go to let me grab it. Here's Revelations 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, and try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man might take that crown. Yeah. So we gotta be patient, endure, hold on to what we have, which is what this wisdom and knowledge and understanding. We understand that us holding on to this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and enduring always to the end, that we're gonna receive that crown. So we can't let that be taken away from us. We can't lose sight of that. So if it comes down to it, we have to make a choice between our family in this world, as family in this world, for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, then hey, fuck it. But that's the type of mindset that we're going to have, and we're still going to need to pray the Lord to give us the spirit of that. Now let me grab this. This is Ephesians 6:10. It's finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand against the wiles of the devil. Yeah. So we got to put on the whole armor. Okay, we put on that whole armor, we're going to be okay. The Lord's going to be there for us. He's going to provide for us. He's going to protect us. He's going to get us through it. We're not going to do none of this without Yahweh Shem Yahushua, And that's something that we have to continue to understand and remember, We're in these feeble bodies, man. We need Yahweh Shem Yahushua to give us, to put us in the right spirit, man. To deal with these things and go through these things, man. Because that's all. And when it comes down, that's all we're gonna have is our faith in the Lord, man. So let me grab this. Luke 14:26. It says, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also cannot be my disciple. It says, and whosoever did not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Yeah. And it doesn't mean hate, like literally hate. It's talking about putting them before this word, man. Putting them before Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You can't do that. You just can't do it. You gotta be willing to let that go. You gotta be just willing to walk away, and to stay gone, to not come back. If they choose to trust in this world, to trust in E, then that's on them, They'll be brought back in the kingdom. But for right now, we can't let that hold us back. We can't let that get in the way of what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish, which is what we're trying to be saved. We trying to receive salvation. So that's the type of mindset we're going to have. So let me grab this. This is Matthew 10:34. It says, think not that I come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's foes should be they of his own household. Yeah. And we see that going on right now, man, that division. That's what that sword is, that division amongst the families. You know? So all type of things, you know, he's going to try to use our family in multiple ways against us. Either try to persecute us or try to convince you. But either way, if it's anything that's going against what we stand for, then we just got to let it go. And just continue to hold on to our faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So that's pretty much it. Lord, when this video is edifying, I'm going to close off by giving our praise to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Rekakadash, Shalom.